How's it going, guys? Banshee Games here, and today I'm bringing you a new type of video. Now, normally when I'm playing this game, I usually just play strictly multiplayer. I jump into other people's communities and help them with whatever missions they have going on. And because of that, I've leveled up a lot of my survivors that I have, as well as gotten some really good loot. So, I figured what better time to make my own community than now, since I'm kind of over-prepared for it. So right off the bat, we're just going to skip the tutorial. We don't need a refresher because we've been playing it recently. And we're actually going to start in Drucker County, which is the only map that I haven't had the pleasure of playing on yet. Now, if you did what I did and you skipped the tutorial, you actually get the option of picking 3 survivors to bring with you. And you can cycle out their stats randomly to try and get a better start. But if you did what I did and have survivors sent to the legacy pool, you can bring 3 of them in free of charge, and you don't have to wait to gather up the influence to buy them when you actually have your new world. So, Marcus, Slingshot, and Zach are the 3 survivors that I'm going to be bringing from the legacy pool, because I have them loaded up with all the gear and stuff that I want to bring in the start of the community. So right off the bat, guys, we're going to start off by breaking down a rucksack that I had Marcus start off with. That way we can go ahead and fill up the car that started near our spawn location, so we don't have to come back for the rucksacks that were in the trunk, as well as not having to walk to our starter base. Right after that, I took out a nearby screamer because I didn't want him alerting any of the other zombies to where I was. We parked at what was going to be our new home. I rounded the corner and found a zombie who for some reason thought it would be a good idea to give Slingshot a hug. Slingshot obviously wasn't feeling it, so he took him out as soon as he saw him. And then we started our process of clearing out the house so we could have a safe home. Right after claiming this site as our new home base of operations, I decided to start switching characters and unloading all of the stuff they had brought over for me. This included medical supplies, guns, ammo types, facility mods, supplies, and just a bunch of other stuff that I thought would be really important to bring over. After that, I end up switching to Slingshot here so that I can start building a couple new facilities in the base. The first facility I decided to build right off the bat, for obvious reasons, was an infirmary, because I wanted to make sure that I'd be able to keep all my survivors safe and healthy. And in the off chance they got infected with anything, I'd want to be able to treat them as fast as possible. I considered the rest of my options and decided on building a watchtower at the front of my base so that my base would be safe while I wasn't there.
On my way to you.
Right after deciding to build my watchtower, I decided to get in the car and take a little drive. Along the way, I found a billboard that I immediately climbed up to the top to get my bearings around town. I didn't find anything too interesting, though. After realizing nothing interesting was going on around town, I decided to clear out a nearby placard, because the area around my house was going to be a lot safer with that thing gone. Plus, you get some good loot out of it, too. After looting the rest of the area that was surrounded by the placard, I put some of the heaviest gear that I had collected into the trunk of the car, made plans to go back to home base, and on the way back onto the road, I gave the nastiest door slam to this unfortunate zombie right here. I pulled up to a nearby cell tower and decided to take a little off the top for the zombie, free of charge. When I got to the top of the cell tower, I realized that there was a water pump station nearby, which I would later claim as an outpost.
Let's see if that junker still runs.
There was also a gun store nearby, but it was already occupied. After talking with this one dude by the name of Gus, I soon realized that a group of survivors nearby had stolen his group's medical supplies, so I agreed to help him get it back. Unfortunately, when we got there, they weren't into talking and immediately opened fire, killing Gus in the process, leaving me to deal with the group of thieves and zombies alike. But that's nothing a couple of headshots here and there can't handle. After the chaos was over, I decided to go ahead and recover the stolen meds, as well as pick up some guns that the thieves were using during the fight. I finished off that area with a little bit of headshot practice, because you can never go wrong with leveling up your sharpshooting. I got back in my car to make my way over to Gus's old partner to return the stolen meds as well as break the bad news to him, and unfortunately, even though I did return the stolen meds, he didn't really care for it because his old buddy was gone, so he took off almost immediately. On the way home, I decided to take a quick pit stop and swap out my car for the truck that I'd seen while I was at the top of the cell tower, and thankfully it came with a full gas can, which is always a good find. I parked my truck at the base that I haven't seen in quite some time now, and decided now would be the perfect time to search the bed of the truck and get rid of everything in my inventory, because it has been a while since I've been here. After returning to the safety of home base, I decided to swap to Marcus, giving Slingshot a much-needed break, and immediately gave Marcus a revolver as well as a couple rounds that I knew would do a good job allowing him to protect himself.
Tell me how this notion strikes you.
A little bit later after that, I decided to go check out what a wandering trader had for sale, and he actually had a really nice car sitting outside that I wanted to take back to base. but unfortunately it was destroyed, so I was going to have to find a way to repair it. This one zombie decided to jump onto the front of my car, causing my engine to light on fire, so I immediately smushed him against a nearby rock, got out of the car, checked the back of the trunk to make sure I didn't leave anything important, and got away from it as fast as I could. Thankfully, though, I made it back to the car that I wanted with a toolkit this time, so I was able to repair it. Next step was to fill up the tank so I would be able to get her back on the road as soon as I could. And then shortly after that, decided to park her at home base so I could unload the trunk, as well as some items that I was carrying in my inventory for a little while. I decided that this car deserved a little bit more love and affection, so I immediately picked up another gas can and another toolbox and showed it a little bit more care. I got a radio message from a group of nearby survivors asking for assistance clearing out a new spot they wanted to set up home base. I immediately helped them and then saw a really good spot for an outpost.
What's waiting for me here?
Immediately after arriving at the corner store, I realized why this group of survivors had asked for help. Because there was a really big group of zombies in the parking lot, and even after killing them, another group of zombies came running out of the corner store. Thankfully, I took care of them without too many issues. I got a couple scratches here and there, and even a little jump scare on the right here, but he was taken out quickly after 2 missed shots and a couple swings of the machete. 2 more zombies came up on the right, but I took care of them later with a couple of headshots, and my new group of survivors would have a lovely base on the other side of the map. After helping the other group of survivors claim that corner store, I immediately claimed a gas station across the street so I could get more fuel. And this guy came out of literally nowhere, but Zach took him out with 1 swing. After all of that was settled, I decided now would be a better time than any to actually look over my base and start putting in some upgrades. The first thing that I did was upgrade my command center, allowing me to have 1 more outpost than normal, as well as other various benefits. The other thing that I decided to do was install modifications into various facilities, providing productivity bonuses and a little extra storage. Because even though this wasn't going to be a big base, it was going to be efficient. The next focus was the infirmary, because again, you can't have 6 survivors in a zombie apocalypse. After that, the rest was kind of just housing to make sure everybody's comfortable. After leaving the corner store and gas station, I made a trip by our late friend Gus's old outpost, and immediately claimed it as our own because the water was going to be a very useful resource later on. On the way home from the water outpost, I ran into a medic, and agreed to help her get back to her old group, which was also filled with other medics. And when we got her there safe and sound, the other group immediately agreed to give us any medical support we would need in the future. So that's always nice. After finally returning home, I decided it was time to switch to Marcus to give Zach the same luxury that he gave Slingshot earlier on in the video. And that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like. And if you find yourself coming to my videos more often, consider subscribing. That way you don't miss out on any upcoming content, whether it be videos or live streams. As far as part 2 of this State of Decay series is concerned, I will be working on the next video here in a little bit. And the premise of the next video will actually be getting some of my legacy survivors, expanding the community, and moving to another base. So if you look forward to that, stay tuned and I'll have another video out as soon as I can. Okay guys, be good people. I hope you guys stay safe. Don't get into any trouble. And that's pretty much all I got. Alright? Peace out, y'all.